let's talk about modal verbs of obligation. Okay, we are going to use two different modal verbs when we want to express that we are obliged to do something, that an activity is compulsory, that is obligatory. We're going to have two different options depending on where the obligation is. ¿Qué significa esto? Que va a haber dos modal verbs que nos van a ayudar a expresar obligación dependiendo de dónde está la obligación. If the obligation is something that somebody else obliges us to do, so it is external, it is a rule that we have to follow, la obligación está por fuera de nosotros, alguien más nos dice que nos obliga a hacer algo, we are going to use the modal verb have to, plus of course bare infinitive, and have to can be used in any tense, okay? So remember that have to as obligation, have to para obligación, can only be used in the affirmative form, okay? So I can say something like employees have to arrive on time to prepare their workplace. Los obliga alguien más, so we can use have to. And remember that there is no negative form. I'm going to repeat this again. There is no negative form for this modal verb. And remember that we should change have to move to different tenses, ¿ok? Entonces, si yo a have to lo quiero usar en otro tiempo, siempre tengo que cambiar la conjugación, la forma de have. So, if I am in the present simple, I can say something like she has to work hard. If I am in the present perfect, I can say something like I have had to work really hard lately. If I am in the past, I can say something like they had to train to win the match. And if I am in the future, I can say we will have to complete, okay? So remember that whenever you use have, the obligation is imposed by somebody else. You have no decision about whether you can do or not do that activity. And then the second choice that we have to express obligation is the modal verb must plus a bare infinitive only for the present and the future. ¿Sí? Ya vamos a ver qué pasa con el pasado, pero por ahora must solo para el presente y el futuro. Must also means obligation, also gives the message of obligation. However, yes, the obligation is internal. ¿Qué quiere decir eso? Que son cosas que nosotros sabemos que tenemos que hacer de cierta manera, que estamos obligados a hacer de cierta manera para que estemos bien, para que esté correcto. Sin embargo, cuando usamos must, no hay una regla que alguien más nos esté imponiendo. Para eso tenemos have to. Okay? And see how there is no negative form for this modal verb, okay? Cuando veamos la forma negativa de must, mustn't, va a ser para indicar otra cosa que no tiene nada que ver con obligation. And then again, must is only used for the present and the future, and the obligation is internal. It is a rule that we set for ourselves. Now, let's see what we use when we want to express prohibition. Y acá sí aparece la forma negativa de must, mustn't, plus bare infinitive. So, the important thing to remember is that mustn't no tiene nada que ver con obligación, sino con lo contrario, prohibición. Okay, when I use mustn't, what I mean is that I can't do this activity, that somebody doesn't allow me to do it, que no lo tengo permitido. So, people mustn't enter shops without a face mask. That is a prohibition. So, please do not consider mustn't as the negative form of must. Must tiene que ver con obligación, pero mustn't tiene que ver con prohibición. Son parecidos, pero sus significados son completamente diferentes. See you on my next video.